Hello, pilots, and welcome back to Flight Academy Season 3, brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have Game 7 of Group 2 for you. As always, the format rules are in the description below, but joining me once again, we have...
It's Fergus. How's it going?
Not bad, Fergus, not bad. How are you doing?
It's going good. I'm doing fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, nothing interesting's happened.
Fair enough. Well, we have some interesting stuff on the table, so let's have a quick look through those lists. And you still owe us the list you were going to fly, but we'll get to that in a moment. So we've got Scott versus Rich, and Scott, as we know, is flying Jet Hawkins with Daredevil, Proton Torpedoes, R5D8, spare parts cannon set on the servo motor S4s in the good old T-65 X-Wing for the Rebellion. And what is Rich flying this time?
Rich is flying the barely flown Nantex fighter with Sunfac in the helm. He's one of the few I6s we have in the Separatist faction. I say I'm the pro Separatist guy. Check out the Separatist breakdown video. I enjoyed watching that.
Yep, thank you very much for the help on that.
I enjoyed writing the notes for that as well, which was quite fun. But Sunfac has the two Nantex talent cards, which are gravitic deflections as well as ensnare. Let's explain what they do. Ensnare's the main one. It allows him to pass a tractor token that he has onto another ship in his turret arc at range 1 to 0, or 1 to 0, 0 to 1. And gravitic deflections is he can re-roll dice for each tractored ship in the attacker's firing arc. So if he can't get rid of his tractor token from pinpoint tractor array, he gets a re-roll, which is quite nice.
Which really obviously plays into Sunfac's hands and the Nantex in general. Obviously, that's why.
And focusing.
Yeah, because he doesn't really have any other. It's just focus and evade on the Nantex
focus
standard.
Evade, and that's it.
Yeah. Good job. He's got some abilities there. So it's going to be an interesting one coming up against Jack. He's obviously going to hope to crack to him and use some shenanigans there. But while we're waiting for them to actually get closer, what was it you were going to bring to the table? Do you remember?
Roughly. It was Kaz in the Fireball, and it was a very, very loaded out Fireball because every slot was filled. I had quite a few points to play with. And
I was actually looking forward to seeing Kaz on the board because I think it would have been quite funny to see how well the Fireball did in a 1v1 situation.
Well, I was thinking the other option was kind of what Ben's done, but Ben's a lot better at playing this game than I am, was bringing Finn in the pod as a kind of joke. But I decided just to bring Kaz because he's actually one of my favourite pilots and favourite ships to fly.
What would have been hilarious if you'd have actually ended up against Andy and you flying the pod and him flying the rest of the sofa.
The rest of the sofa, yeah.
And then if you bumped, I'd have just been like, well, you've got to put the ships together now, really, haven't you? Because that would have been hilarious. I mean, that would have been a ballsy option. I'm not going to lie. It would have been ballsy to run just the pod. Because I think that would then be the cheapest ship in the game.
It would have just been Finn with Advanced Optis, Perceptive Co-Pilot, and whatever else I fancied.
I think by the sounds of it, the upgrades would have cost more than the actual ship itself at that point.
Probably.
Oh, but it looks like
Sunfac's going in for the... Oh, he's going in.
He is going in, and it looks like he's got the bullseye as well, so that is Sunfac at his finest.
Well, has he moved with the track? Has he moved Jack with the tractor token?
He hasn't moved Jack with the tractor token, which I think is the right option.
Well, you have to move them.
You don't have to move them. It's a you may move.
What, with tractor?
With the updated tractor rules, you may move them. So you don't actually have to move them anymore. It's actually a really interesting one. So it's
kind of interesting.
Yeah, so you may move, but that is 3 damage going through there straight away. 4 damage, sorry, there's a crit there. Wow.
That's Sunfact with... That is... Oh.
Sunfact, Bullseye, Tractor, all of the crazy... Damaged Engine as well.
Give me all the dice. Oh,
That is...
I mean, he can heal it back.
He can hit it back, but that's still a great first shot for Sunfact. Oh, that's brutal. But yeah, with the tractor update in 2.5, there was obviously a lot of things that they changed in this. So you may move them, you can't move them off the board or onto obstacles. Obviously, if you do move your opponent, they then have the option to rotate 90 degrees and take a stress. Oh, but that's a big strong range one coming back.
I guess it does make sense that it's a may, because it's like you either aim the tractor beam at just keep them in one place, or you can move them with the tractor beam. So no, that's...
Yeah.
I just remember when I did back when the Nantex first came out, and it was very, very good.
Yeah.
You could have two of them just flying around with Grievous, applying a lot of hurt.
Or you could have just flown 4 of them, but not many people actually had 4. But we are half points apiece there, so that was a nice return volley from Scott. Not quite as painful as Rich's shot, but both being on half is going to be interesting, especially Damaged Engine is not the most ideal upgrade. I mean, I suppose actually on Jack it's not too bad because he might be able to hold it. So I actually think Jack's probably one of the few pilots that doesn't care about a damaged engine, actually.
He just gets rid of the stress when he wants to. But he can also heal it because it's a ship upgrade, so without spending a charge. Yeah,
he can flip without spending a charge, or if he doesn't take damage from doing the stress, he could just R5D8 to give himself a bit more health. Depends on how risky he's feeling. But I anticipate a K or a Talon from Jack at this point. Most likely, I don't know the Nantex dial very well. I know it's got a 2 sloop, if I remember rightly.
It does, and a 5k, but the 5k would be a bit stupid right now.
Yeah, 5k would be hitting that board edge right there, so he definitely doesn't want to be... Oh, 3 sloop, sorry. My apologies, 3 sloop. 3 sloops close. I think it would fit, but it is still awkwardly close there, I think. Oh, just giving them a little bit of a hand on getting that K turn in. The old
4K.
Nub to nub. Nice, I like that. Can he hold it?
Does he take another damage? Oh.
He does! Another damage going through.
Is he going to spend a charge? Or is he going to just take the modifications and try and fight it out?
Or is he going to take the lock and try and do a proton torpedo? That's the question.
Ooh. Depends if Sunfact will get arc. Which is quite likely because he's got the mobile turret.
Well, as long as it's not behind him. Because he can't obviously rotate to the rear.
Oh, there's the 3 sloop.
Okay.
We've got bags of room.
Plenty of room there. The bank maneuvers are always the ones that are the trickiest, I feel, because they always go a bit further than you expect, and especially the 3 swings round further than you expect as well.
I'd say you should pinpoint tractor and try. Oh, maybe.
He's stressed.
Oh, because yes, they've also ramped that as well.
Yeah, it's a rotate action.
Hmm.
So.
And you've got to do both. You can't just fail the arrow, maybe, can you?
I think
Can you fail doing the rotate action but still get the tractor token?
you can rotate your arc. After you connect it with you may gain 1 tractor token to perform a rotate action. So I think because you're not performing a rotate action and your arc hasn't moved, you can't actually do it. So, and that's game over. That's a direct hit there.
Was that even with? Was that even with the? Oh, it was with.
That was with the proton torpedo.
Okay, it was with it, but only 2 went through.
Only 2 went through.
That's
and
2.
That one that went, yeah.
Was it? Oh.
That was absolutely insane. Like, that first shot from Rich was just insane.
A very poor Sunfuck. Oh,
yeah.
Man. I was rooting for Sunfuck as well. You know I was rooting for the Separatists. Oh.
I mean, I mentioned it earlier in one of the earlier games. Obviously, with the Nantex, it's quite a high ceiling. It can be so good. But you've got to actually be very confident in playing it.
It's a very tricky ship to fly, and I think props to Rich for bringing it, because he's flying it well. He's flying it very well. Yeah,
and I think it's just the dice in a way are what are sort of bringing it against him. But really,
never blame the dice around me. That's I don't believe in bad dice, but then under certain circumstances,
from a certain point of view,
got to bring the Star Wars quote in.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a quick look at the table and see how that's affected. Obviously, we're in the second half of Group 2 now.
And the scores on the doors.
Sitting pretty at the top there is still Scott. He's got 3 wins, 3 kills, and a good 12 points there. So almost guaranteeing himself through to the finals, but still a few games to go. Gruff in second with 7 points, Fraser with 4, and Rich still there with the 3 points. But we still have 5 games left to go, so we'll see where people end up in this group. It's going to be quite interesting. It could be anyone at this point, I think. Anyone can actually make it through. But Fergus, thank you so much for joining us for that one.
No worries. Thanks for having me. It's good. Love seeing the Nantex on the table. Wish it could have done better, but Richard gave it a good go. So, what more do you want?
Maybe we'll see more Nantex in the future. But it was good to see it. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.